I've never been a massive fan of holidays. Yes, I enjoy them, but I know many people who are like so into holidays that they've got to have it. They'll save up for months and months and months all to go on this special holiday. They'll spend loads of money on the flights. They don't care when it is or how expensive the flights are. They are spending their money to go on holiday. I'm like, no, let's find a cheap holiday and have a bit of an experience, and do something fun or do something cool. And that's the kind of extent of my holiday requirements in general. But it's going to be interesting what happens next year, considering this year everyone's been locked down, nobody's been able to go on holiday, and the question is, what are the holidays going to be like next year? Are they going to be so expensive and everyone is going to be so desperate that they've been stuck, cooped up in their own country, that they're going to be desperate to get out and go on holiday anywhere, no matter what the costs, and it will be a massive holiday boom, or and possibly with that, possibly reigniting the coronavirus spreading all around the world? Or will everyone still be like, oh, I'm possibly going to lose my flights, I'm possibly going to lose my hotel, the country I'm going to might be in lockdown, maybe if I go on holiday, when I come back I might have to quarantine for 2 weeks, that might ruin my job, or all that kind of stuff. And so many people losing jobs, maybe they're like, maybe I don't want to spend money on a holiday, so maybe the amount of holidays will be less. And then if you go to countries or you book in advance, you don't know whether the country's going to be in a semi-lockdown itself, and then you get there and it's completely dead and you can't go to the pub or to restaurants or even out at the beach. Is a real kind of like, do I really want to be spending £2,000-3,000 to go on a holiday to a country which I don't know what level of lockdown or fun I'll actually be able to do, and if I do go there, when I come back, what I have to do to be allowed to even leave my house. So there's that kind of question of, is it going to be everyone's going on holiday, it's going to be great fun, it's going to be rammed, but it's going to be expensive as hell, or is it going to be nobody's going on a holiday and it's totally dead, and when you get there there's nothing to do, it's going to be a really crap holiday? So I think a friend of mine was saying they were going to go to Disney World or Disneyland. I can't remember which one it was, but they're saying Disney, whichever one it was, hasn't actually closed down. So they were still accepting people to have their holiday there. But there was no restaurants open, there was no midday parades, and the queuing for the roller coasters, well, you weren't allowed to queue. So you had to like virtually book it on an app. I think that's kind of a good idea. You just have it on your app. You walk up, I'm booked in for this time, and no one would go. That sounds like actually. But it loses its. I think they've had to cut down the numbers. They're obviously not allowed their full numbers and all that kind of stuff. You just kind of go, So the whole Disney World, Disney experience massively had its shine rubbed off. And that's probably the best way to describe it. Everything's had its shine rubbed off by coronavirus. So my wife and kids went to a light thing. There's something at Edinburgh Zoo where they have lots of a light festival. There was like twinkly lights and fairy lights and things made of lights, things. Some of which I was like, that sounds really boring, not going to go to that. You can take the kids. And then lo and behold, she says, yeah, it was a total waste of time, and the kids were just annoying. So I'm glad I voted no for that one. And she herself said that that person's trying to go down the wrong lane there. She herself said that when she got there, it was beautiful, it was Christmassy, it was cold, it was sparkly, but at the same time, you're constantly worried about other people being too close to you. You had to wear your mask, your glasses got steamed up, you're worried about kids touching things and having to scrub down your hands, and then you all had to book in at a certain time, and it wasn't just a spontaneous thing, and she's just like, yeah, it's really taken the shine off of it. So I think that's the thing, like holidays, everyone has this idea of like, oh, holiday, woo, let's go have fun. And I was like, oh, let's go and be careful everywhere, which, you know, we all should be, but it's I just think the holiday season next year, I don't know, even it might not even be next year, maybe the year after that. I can't quite tell what it's going to be, whether it's going to be an absolute riot or another disastrous year, and maybe a mix of both. Maybe certain parts of the country just going, but then I think if everyone's wanted to go out, it'll be so expensive, and people really shouldn't be putting themselves into too much more debt just now. My goal maybe is to do another kind of staycation. We as a family have done a few different types of interesting staycations. Last year we got a motorhome, and the four of us went on a trip around Scotland. That was great fun, 4 or 5 days, and we went swimming in the lochs in Scotland, and that was lovely. And then this year we stayed in a tree house, or a stilt house, in a place called Dod Mill, in the Borders. That was an experience with 2 kids in a tiny little tree house. Not doing them again, but we're getting used to this, like, small places with our kids. I'm thinking maybe next time we get a boat, but then a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old on a boat, maybe not. But I'm thinking there's a canal. There's a canal from Edinburgh to Glasgow. Maybe we could get one of those narrow boats. I think they're called narrow boats. Just kind of like houseboats. Maybe do that. That sounds like quite an interesting thing. And yeah, you don't have to worry about being with other people or anything like that, and you know the language. And but then if you get locked down, what happens? Are we allowed to go on the boat from one postcode to the next? Who knows? But yeah, just interesting. If I can leave a comment of my future self, comment down below and tell me what happens next year with holiday season. Tell me, future me, in the future. Cheers. Bye bye.